All right, got another game on Fox. I am playing black again. And instead of playing the Moyo like I usually like to play, I will actually play just separating corners and not go for the Moyo. Is he just going to resign here? That would suck. Nope, he doesn't. So I'm going to approach. There's certain combinations in Tsujis that I want to show people. That's not a good move. You have to play the because there's still a lot of Aji down here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this right now. There's still a bunch of Aji down here. You should play this. You should definitely play the Small Knights move. Um, you should either play the Small Knights move or the jump. This leaves too much Aji. Like if I can just do stuff like this. That's a bad move. That's a really bad move. I can just double Hane. And this move down here is still really painful for him. You can't kill my corner. He knows that, right? That's weird. Does he really want the corner that badly? Alright, whatever. I mean, I did give him Sente, but now I get a Sente. Didn't get that much territory out of this, honestly. That's not good. I mean, he can play the 3-3 on me, but I have a lot more potential points. Just gonna... Oh, that's a bad move. That's a pretty bad move. I mean, he can peep. I'm just gonna take the corner. Screw the Moyo. I'm just gonna take the corner. I probably wouldn't have answered that. I mean, his strength over there doesn't really mean anything. His thickness over there doesn't mean anything. Those are all my stones. Can't cut. Is he really going to try to attack this gigantic group? It's not. That's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. I'm just going to ignore that. mean, I really don't see the point of that, because you can't really, I mean, that's pointless though. Why? Why would you do that? Because I can still do that. I'm just confused. I'm really freaking confused. I'm just really, really confused by a lot of his moves, actually. Because he just gave up like all his territory, and his influence doesn't mean anything because he can't attack me. I am royally confused. I just gave up so many gotes over here, and he just gave so many. He gave up so many gotes over there. The heck's that supposed to do? I mean, his moves are so obvious. You're not gonna fool me with that. Come on, man. This group, you can't attack that group. This thickness is useless. He has no points. You gotta solidify some territory sooner or later. This game is like textbook not being aware of the situation. It's textbook not being aware of the situation. That's useless. What are you trying to achieve there exactly? He's giving me like all the really high point value moves. There might be some Aji down there. I don't like that. But I don't think so. I don't think there's anything there. I mean, maybe? I guess he could cut, but I don't see anything. Maybe I'm missing something? I don't think so.
Yoyomi now starts.
Yeah, but that doesn't help him. I mean, he can cut this stone, I guess. That's about the only thing he could do. That's even if I play that way. No, I'm just gonna go to that. And he just solidified the rest of this.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Yeah, I mean, he can cut off this stone, but that's it. And if he Ataris, I'm just not going to respond. He's also solidified this side pretty well. Yeah, he has no points. He has absolutely no points. Like, trying to attack me when I'm already really strong is kind of pointless. What's he gonna do exactly? Just gonna make sure that group is alive. Yeah, that's pointless. That's an eye. This is an eye. He can't do anything. He's kind of screwed.
Yoyomi now starts.
And just make my eye and live, and he basically loses, right? Because he has no points. Remember, guys, you got to get more points than the other guy to actually win it go. Or peoples, you got to get more points than the other guy to actually win it go. You don't win it go if you make a big moyo and you get no points from it. Moyos aren't worth any points until you actually make points out of them. Remember that, folks. Remember that, folks. Remember that. Moyos aren't worth anything until you actually make points out of them. That's right, kiddies. Moyos are useless if you don't make points out of them. Now, why would you do that? Oh. I'd much rather connect this one. This one is worth a lot more. I don't know if he realizes this, but I can still disconnect there. It's a big move. Let's make sure I don't screw this up. Which one's worth more? Oh, this is worth a lot more. My calculating powers way surpass his. Is he seriously going to fight that Ko with me? He's really going to fight the Ko with me. Not interested in fighting the Ko with him. Can't connect anyways. Probably has like 20, 25 points on the whole freaking board. I have way more than that. I mean, not right now. I might need to do that later. Let's go ahead and connect this. Might be some Aji over there in the corner. Definitely might be a little bit of Aji over there in the corner. So, gotta be careful of that. It's a solid win though. Yeah, but there's nothing there. Go ahead and repair that just in case. I don't think there's anything there, but just in case. About 20 points, that's what I thought. Don't have to win by 50 every time. Solid win of 20 points is good enough. So yeah, I mean, this was basically a control game.
9, 8.
It's definitely a
7,
control game after the
6,
start.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And he's lost by about 20
2
points.
Yoyomis left.
So just a solid control game. Don't mess up. Don't do anything stupid. After you get this side and you've destroyed his corner, you pretty much win. And this was just a case of him like building a lot of influence, but not knowing, like not having anywhere to use the influence because I don't have weak groups. Here we go. Here is that game that we can actually review. Basically, it's just a control game. I didn't really try to kill anything all that much, and the thing is, I was pretty much ahead by the time we actually got to the end. By the time we got anywhere close to the ending, I was already ahead. And this is just a case of like him building too much influence. By the way, I lost another game with this guy because like I accidentally clicked accept match and I didn't really want to play. Just wanted to like go to sleep. So I just like flabbergasted a couple of moves and just like died. So, oh well. Still have enough for double promotion. Doesn't matter if I just like flub a game every once in a while because I really want to go to sleep. But we're going to do this review. Yeah, so this thing here, realistically, like, yeah, there's an invasion, but at this point, I just want to be safe. He has no points. I have a lot of points. So I'm just like, well, if I sacrifice 2 or 3 points, just if I just sacrifice a couple of points like this, essentially, like, there's really not much, there's really not much that can actually be done here. If I just sacrifice a couple of points, I'm fine. And that's kind of like what he did, like, obviously that's going to be Gote, so I'm going to come out here, and when he does that, I just take back, and he still doesn't have anywhere near enough points. He built a lot of influence here, but the problem is, like, I already broke his bottom territory down here, and his influence does nothing against my group. He should have invaded, but doing this actually just kills off any invasion opportunity up here. So, like, that invasion was probably a bad idea. I would have that invasion was was just a bad play. That invasion was just a bad play. He should have probably just, like, invaded here or something. So, he should, like, invaded here. That would be much harder for me to deal with. And he would actually need to invade here at this point because he basically has no territory. So, that's the problem with that. So, yes, that was, like, one mistake that he actually made. Let me just open this up again. I don't really know how this actually works. The other mistake, like, when you build influence, you got to be building influence with something. And you can't, like, the problem with his game is, like, he built influence, but he couldn't attack anything. So, like, at this point, right, like, I mean, at this point he's pretty much already lost, but, once you get here, you've pretty much already lost. But the problem is, like, this is pretty much game losing. This is going to lose you the game because, I mean, you're not really pushing me. When I do that, you really shouldn't connect that. It's not really worth anything. And letting me have that move is a lot worse than any of this stuff. So, like, when you're pushing, yes, you're building influence in the bottom. But the problem is, like, when you do this, you can't really Hane over. So I'm just going to take my territory. And at this point, there's really no coming back as long as I don't screw up. Because, yes, I mean, sure, you can do a couple of forcing moves, but what does that actually get you? Like, you're crawling on the bottom, like, what does that actually get you? Hane connect, and then I leap up here, so there's now Aji in the corner now. You do this, and I'm just going to invade your corner, right? And you can't really protect against this because, you can't really protect against that. And then you do this. I don't really know what the point of this is. Of course, I just, like, protect, and then you do this. I curl out, you do this. I mean, at this point, since you've already played this, I mean, at this point, I mean, he might just have to try to do something like that. Because that's a ko right there. And you're not going to win without killing one of my groups is the problem. It's not a good ko for him, but like it's actually a pretty light ko for him, because if he kills my group, I'm obviously going to lose. I mean, I can take this. I have a lot of ko threats, so I'm not really afraid of this. But the thing is, realistically, like the thing is, you kind of have to do that at this point. You kind of have to do that at this point, because, or I can just do this. Can't really do anything if I do that. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's too hard for me to make eyes here, because he doesn't have to do this. He can just do this, I guess. But then again, I guess, like, yeah, I mean, it's hard for him to, like, he would do something like this, and now I don't have two eyes. So at this point, like, at this point, you have to go in for the ko. You absolutely have to go in for the ko at this point, because like you're down by so much. So that's like just another thing of recognizing the state of the game. If you're down by a lot and you don't really have a way to get back into the game, you got to do moves. You got to do moves like this, because doing moves like this gives you a small chance of winning. Obviously, like playing a ko here isn't the best thing in the world, because there's a ton of ko threats everywhere. I can just like do random cuts everywhere, and there's not really that much you can actually do against me. But yeah. Definitely, like these ko threats, the ko is probably the way to go right now, because you're behind by so much. You have to make a move at this point. But on this game, like this is pretty much losing the game, allowing me to get the bottom while building this thick wall. Usually, building a thick wall is great, because like my wall doesn't do anything, but my goal was just to go home. Because remember, I already destroyed all your territory down here. All you got for this thick wall is this. So you made a horrible exchange, and you let me get everything down here. And plus, with that, you also let me get this corner. So you have no territory left. As long as I don't die, I'm going to win. So that's actually how I was looking at the game. And even if you invaded like this, I might have just blocked this way, because as long as I get that corner, I'm going to have enough territory to actually beat you. So, because you have absolutely no territory at all besides this. So that's just kind of like the state of the game. And when you build influence, you have to you have to be able to use that influence. If you're not able to use the influence is useless. Like there's no moyo he can make down here. All the other parts of the board's blocked off. So he's basically trading influence after he already traded away all his territory, and there's nothing for him to attack. And that's why he lost the game, building influence without anywhere to use the influence. And of course, like I said, one last chance down here to make a ko. But he didn't actually do that, so I did end up winning this game. So, yep, that's the lesson for today. Hope you had fun. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.